Thank you, Dr. Pfeiffer. I think Dr. Overland summed up chiropractic right there, so I don't think I need to do anything. First of all, good morning. I want to say that this is truly an honor to represent this special graduating class and the University of Western States at this commencement. Thank you for your selection. It has been real challenging to assimilate 3 years of memories and experiences into a 3-minute speech. And number one, I don't talk as fast as Dr. Stetcher. And number two, it's not as simple as Jimmy's career. Year 1, get a girlfriend. Year 2, get engaged. Year 2.5, get married. And year 3, have a baby. Let me start with the meaning of commencement. Commencement is typically defined as the ceremonies or day for conferring degrees or diplomas. But another definition is the beginning. June 2013, commencement marks the beginning of our careers as doctors of chiropractic. While we will never be done learning, we can all enjoy this incredible feeling of being done with such a rigorous program, and maybe Jenna can finally relax. But it's an even better feeling to begin this next chapter in our lives. While we still have important decisions looming or thoughts about our future salaries, and there is the fact that those student loans await, today is a day to celebrate, so congratulations. Before I get into some highlights, I want to begin by thanking our support staff, our families and friends. This program is long, grueling, and very demanding, not only in us as students, but spouses, significant others, kids, parents, and friends. I'm sure some of you feel that you are graduating as well. So congrats to you, we love you, and we couldn't be here without you. Now let me share a few highlights. First of all, time flies. Looking back, I feel like I was just sitting in gross anatomy on day 1, getting our UWS intro from Dr. Gilmer. Or doing chirobics way back in second quarter. Or remembering the girls getting all giddy when they first saw Dr. Borman and that silver hair. There were times that it seemed as though those basic sciences or those clin phase lectures would never end. But really, it only seems like yesterday that we were in our first palpation class struggling to find a spinous process. Or pretending like we could see cup to disc ratios in our partner's eyes. Or that time so long ago when we were cramming for Part 1 national boards that put to rest a week of 20 straight exams. Those 3-minute probes, OSCEs, and memorized exam flows have come and gone, with our only memories being the voices of Dr. Carnes and Dr. LaFay lecturing to us for the rest of our lives. Now, 3 years and almost 5,000 hours of school later, which is a couple hundred hours more than med school, by the way, our brains full of information and still trying to figure out the contents of our doc bags. We are ready to take the next step as chiropractors. Our careers as professional students, for most of us, are now over. My next highlight is we've learned so much. We are surrounded by faculty and professors with a wealth of knowledge and experience. We have learned so much from them, whether it was new songs from Dr. Partna or that intermembrane proteins are really just potatoes in the garden. But if you look to the people, friends next to you, that's where we've learned the most. We've especially learned from our Canadian friends that grades are marks and taking a test is writing a test, and that you don't go to the restroom, you go to the washroom. Words like sorry will always be sorry, and process will be process. Skeletal, and so on. But learn we did. Before school started, most of us had no idea about chiropractic other than it made some people feel better without the use of prescription. Now we know how to adjust people, the anatomy and physiology involved, the basic science, associated disease processes, and finally how to bring it all full circle and use evidence-based research to make clinical decisions and diagnoses. I guess we've also learned how to take a test or two. And when you're busy with those tests, lectures, or treating patients, you tend to forget how much you actually know. You're surrounded by students who are all in the same program and learning the same information, so it's often taken for granted. If you put yourself out in the real world, the amount of knowledge you have is incredible, and the number of lives you will touch even greater. My next highlight is the experiences we've had are incomparable. Starting with the anatomy lab, where we blamed every wrong cut or dissection on Dr. Rouhani, and seeing our first cadaver to performing venipunctures on classmates that was nicknamed Stab Lab and consisted of fellow students hyped up on coffee sticking needles blindlessly into our arms. To female and prostate exams, turn your head and cough will never mean the same. To treating our first student patient and praying you didn't injure them so that they'll come back to you. To treating patients at our off-site clinics that included recovering drug addicts to the homeless. To covering sporting events with the master's program. And finally, how to bring to experience in fullness a graduate program. Not too many people can check those things off a list. We should all feel very fortunate and lucky to experience what we did, and leaving here, feel confident taking these experiences and applying them to real life. My next highlight is over the last 3 years, we've all built some incredible relationships, starting with Lisa and the rest of the admissions crew, to the professors, our clinicians, librarians, maintenance, and other administrative faculty. This place has allowed us to network and build relationships that we can carry into our respective careers. Speaking of, on a personal note, I'm excited to graduate because now Dr. Ondick can finally add me on Facebook. It is really nice to know that you can always pick up the phone and call anyone at the university and get an answer you need. That's a good feeling. Last and certainly not least, the relationships we built as students with our peers is equally rewarding and may become one of our greatest assets as we transition from education to our chiropractic practices. We came in as the largest class in history, and we have excelled in the classroom, the clinical system, and the national boards, where our scores recently ranked #1 out of all the chiropractic schools in the U.S. I feel we are also fortunate to have met some brilliant, unique, and supportive classmates that we can call friends, and who have helped each other through tough lectures, papers, assignments, tests, adjustments, relationships, and to become the doctors we now are. We have shared the highs and lows together. We have cried together. We laughed together. We have loved together. We have learned together. And yes, we did party together. But most importantly, we grew together. We will never forget things like John Ogden wearing flip-flops on his first day of clinic, Trevor Clark's beard, James Young's muscles, Mike Palmer's spandex, or that the average height of girls in our class was taller than the guys. Or maybe that's just for me, I don't know. And we will never forget those Canadian boys huddled around their iPads watching hockey every day, eh? Although miles will separate us as we go our own ways, this university has created friendships and bonds that will undoubtedly last a lifetime. One of my classmates, Kara Curtis, recently posted something on Facebook that pretty much sums it all up. She says, "We have accomplished so much together over the past 3 years, and as a result, we will be lifelong friends." Finally, cheers. Good luck to everyone graduating, and may you have long and prosperous careers. I think we have left our mark on this university in a very positive way, with heart, attentiveness, desire, and a lot of hard work. And now today, as chiropractic physicians, it's time for us to leave the same mark on society. To the professors, administration, and staff, and of course my fellow classmates, whom I can now call colleagues, thanks for making this one of the finest chiropractic institutions in the world. Congratulations to all, and in the words of the great Dr. Ron LaFay, it's showtime. Let's show the world what we know.